Hello everyone, it's Roger here from Infinity and Beyond, presented by Baymax Kingdom, and this is the 6th Disney Infinity and Beyond webcast. So I am live here from the United Kingdom on this miserable September the 1st morning. I can't believe it's September already. That means Disney Infinity 2.0 is coming out this month. So we're now just a few weeks away from Disney Infinity 2.0 hidden shelves and being able to play it ourselves. Okay, so in this episode I am going to run through all of this week's news. Quite a few bits and pieces. We've had some official announcements. For example, Hiro and Baymax are now official. We've also had a tease about Star Wars. We've also heard about Ninja Theory joining Disney Infinity. And we've also got lots of other little bits and pieces. So anyway, remember to check us out over on our Facebook group, Infinity and Beyond. You can find it on Baymax Kingdom. So let's kick off with the news for the week. Okay, so we're going to kick off with the big official news of the week that Hiro and Baymax from the big Hero 6 movie have been announced. They are coming out, so I'm just going to bring up here the figure hits so you can see them on screen. Okay, here we go, just the other screen here. So as you can see, we have these two figures that have been announced. We've known about these for a long time, ever since the initial leaks first came out a few months ago. Then at San Diego Comic-Con, you had a huge, great big Baymax figure that JV was next to. And then finally, what we had was a little bit of picture on the toy box starter pack saying that they were coming out. We saw it on the front cover of the power disc, but officially we didn't know about them. But now it's all official, we know they're coming, so let's show you the trailer.
The power to build a world comes from your mind. The power to change the world comes from your heart.
Defensive programming activated. Whoa! Statistically, this is quite dangerous. Greetings. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain?
Hiro and Baymax, playable in the Disney Infinity Toy Box 2.0 edition. Available fall 2014. Additional characters and content sold separately.
Wait, you forgot your lollipop.
So there we go. So there was Hiro and Baymax trailer. Lots of little bits and pieces in there. I think they saw some terrains and power and sky domes for Big Hero 6. Doesn't look like there's going to be a play set for this, which is a bit of a disappointment. But I think we're going to kind of get over that once we actually see the game. There was some first impressions for me was that sort of Baymax looks almost like he looks very similar to Iron Man. Sort of seems to have a lot of the same sort of abilities. He can fly. He can sort of fire off rockets. And to be honest, he looks a lot of fun. I mean, I know none of us have actually seen Big Hero 6 yet, but I think it's going to be another big hit for Disney. I think it's going to be kind of a really big sort of cartoon that's going to kind of give us a slightly different edge to maybe like the Princess stuff, more like Wreck-It Ralph. But we aren't going to get that in cinemas in the US till November, but it doesn't look like it's coming out in the UK until February. And on that note, on a little bit, in the UK press release, It said they're not out in the UK until early 2015, but they are going to be out in the US for launch. Now, Disney then tweeted back to me and said that they should be available this year. So the UK dates are still up in the air. None of the UK retailers have got it up on the website. However, all the US sites have got it up, and it is going to be part of the launch, which ties in directly with the movie. So for us UK viewers, we've kind of got a choice here. We can either wait for the official ones, or we can import them. I may import them because of the website, etc. And for this, but generally, it might not be. It's only 2 figures. It's not going to be a major problem. But Hiro and Baymax, let's get back to it. So as you can see, we have some pictures sent to us from Disney that sort of show off different actions here. Now, what is pretty exciting about a lot of these pictures, and even the trailer really, is that they're showing off new elements, and they're also showing off old elements. I found everything with the Disney side of things have been very much about showing off the Disney side of things with the old characters and old toys, and also giving you the new items. It's an expansion of what we've already got, rather than constantly just going, oh well, all the old, because they could have easily just showed us all the new stuff and not even have included the old one. So that's always a pretty cool thing. So anyway, so let's just go here and show you those pictures. Okay, so here we have Aladdin and Hiro and Baymax with like a few blocks, nothing particularly amazing there, just showing off. Looks like maybe a rail there. So, and in the second picture here we have Baymax and Hiro fighting off against a load of the enemies from the first game. So we've got the pirates, we've got the Omnibot, we've got the Lone Ranger, and we've got one of the guards. So again, that's all kind of part of the thing with these guys. And then we have some fireworks with Tinkerbell overlooking the San Tokyo Bridge, which looks to be one of the things that you're going to be able to unlock and use. There does seem to be they're adding fireworks, a much bigger set of fireworks into the game. I've seen a few trailers and stuff with that in, so that's going to make things a little bit more interesting. Okay, then now this image coming up next is one of the ones that kind of caught our attentions quite a bit. Was it shows Hiro riding on the back of Baymax. Now this is also shown in the trailer, and it's been confirmed that basically this is a combination that these guys can use. But also what's interesting is Stitch is riding on the back of Aladdin's back, which might be again a unique combination that these guys can do, and it's kind of quite cool. It's going to be good for sort of 2 players. I don't know how much I'd use it myself, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, in the next image we can see Donald Duck has got his jetpack on, Baymax is flying, and then Hiro is riding on a Incredibles hoverboard. So again, it's a good combination of the old game and the new game, and we've also got in the background, looks to be a water sky dome, the San Fran Tokyo, and a load of sort of Japanese style buildings. So I think that's got what we're going to see a lot of. Still not too sure what those fans are yet. I'm sure once the movie comes out we'll know a bit more about that. Okay, and in this next image we have again some more combinations. We have a Tron cycle, which I'm really cool. I can't wait to try out motorcycles in the game. And again, Maleficent riding the Tron vehicle. Okay, and in the next image we have Hiro and Baymax sat on the Aladdin's carpet, which is going to be a power disc from the Marvel set. It again shows that it looks like 2 people are going to be able to ride this at once. You also have Buzz Lightyear riding on the Bedknobs and Broomsticks bed. I can't wait to do that. I loved that movie when I was a kid, and I watch it every time. And also Donald Duck is riding a hoverboard, which I believe is from Treasure Planet. Okay, and then we have Hiro is then chasing a ball, and there looks to be like a pyramid in the background, which could be a new building with Stitch and Donald Duck. Now that football kind of ties into the first trailer from Big Hero that we saw. And then finally we have another picture here of Baymax is riding in a Alice in Wonderland cart from the ride. We have Buzz Lightyear riding in the on the Mr. Toad's vehicle. Woody is in on the I think Madame Mim's sort of hovercraft thing. And then Hiro is in a car, but it's upside down while it's flying, so it might be the ability to fly upside down in cars. I don't know on that one yet. And then in this other image we have Donald Duck and Hiro sort of playing hide and seek with Baymax, which is pretty cool. I like the idea of doing that. So there we go. So that there was all of the Hiro and Baymax. Now, it's great to see that they've come out and finally admitted that they're coming out and got all of that out of the way. We are now a couple of weeks away from launch, so it makes sense to get this stuff out. We've known about it for a while. I understand why they did them almost last out of everything that we found out for all the different retailer leaks. It makes sense of why they have done those two last, because they're the characters which nobody really knows too much about yet. All the other characters everybody knows. Those two, well, like I said, it was a bit like Frozen last year when Anna and Elsa were announced. We didn't really know about how big Frozen was going to be, so we didn't really, a lot of people weren't as excited as they would have been if it had come out now, for example. But what I thought is cool is JV has been on quite a few different things talking about how the retailers, how he's going to try and not tell them as much information. Now, what we saw with Jasmine was they put out the announcement of the trailer of her coming to Disney Infinity, and it all caught everyone by surprise. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. I think the retailers are going to be told maybe a bit not quite as early on as they were this time around, because a lot of the retailers were putting things up on the websites, and we were finding out about it via that rather than the official line. But there again, this year was a little bit different with the launch. They were slowly releasing, drip feeding us information, rather than last year where they just threw everything at us at once. I kind of like a little bit of both. Find out a big chunk and then little bits extra is good for us. But as I said, we now know everything from the initial launch. We are only a few weeks away. I'll be going through a little bit more in detail on that in coming weeks before we actually get a bit closer to the game. But there's still going to be lots of surprises. There's still lots of stuff unanswered. And I'm sure once we get the game, we're gonna have a lot more answers, but we'll probably have a lot more questions about things that we're after, and so we'll hold on to that. And as I said, JV did put out a message this week about, and I'm just going to bring it up on the screen here. So here we go. So the big thing that's been on a lot of the different retailers this week or on the different gaming websites, has been about Star Wars being teased for Disney Infinity 3.0. Now, we've all been sort of saying this for a long time, and even we had the lightsaber in the first game, so we know that Star Wars is coming to Disney Infinity. But what was said in the Newsarama website was that during an interview, they asked about sort of giving us a little bit of tease, and JV had said that his favourite character has not yet been announced. It's female and it's Disney, and they're not going to tell retail who it is for a long time in order to keep it secret, which is what I was just mentioning just then. But what then was John Blackburn then turned around and said, "I like your other tease better. We can talk about the future, but that is far, far away." Which JV said 2015 is not so far, far away anymore, is it? So that is kind of a really good sort of nice tease. It got picked up by a lot of the different websites, and I think we all know that Disney Infinity is going to have stuff. Specifically, are going to be working on like the fighting mechanism. They're going to be working out how to make the game better, and they've apparently been working on Jasmine and also the three villains, Ronan, Green Goblin and Loki. So that's why they've been brought in. We don't really know too much more about what they've been doing. They've apparently been working with Disney since February, so that's might be why they haven't been working on some of the earlier Avengers, because they've been in place for a few years. But it's great to see them bringing in extra talent, bringing in different people, and I think that's what we need. We need to see things like that. We need to know what's they're doing something different, and I think changing the mechanism. Ninja Theory had worked on other games like Devil May Cry, and it's going to be interesting. Like I said, a lot of people, adding an extra fighting element to it will make it a lot more interesting. Okay, so we're going to now talk about something else that's been coming on this week, which have been that some retailers have started receiving their Disney Infinity 2.0 packages. So they've got all the starter packs, they've got all the figures, they've got all the accessories, they're all arriving. As I said, we are only a few weeks away. They are turning up in stores in the background. I wouldn't recommend going into stores and asking for them to be picked up, because you're not going to be able to get them, because a lot of the retailers won't allow you to buy things early, and they will get fines if they did. So that is one of the big reasons why they won't sell it to you early. Even though you may want it to, they aren't going to allow you to sell them early. Now, what is quite cool now is, like I said, is that things are starting to arrive. The launch is getting here. I think some people were a bit surprised that they were turning up so early. I'm not. They want to make sure this is all there. Games probably arrive, a few weeks before they're about to go out anyway. However, what it does mean is I could quite easily see if a few retailers maybe start sneaking stuff out, making mistakes. Maybe not so much the main gaming sites, but the supermarkets like Walmart or things like that could easily end up seeing items going out on sale. I've also seen pictures of here in the UK that game have started putting out some of the figures like Hawkeye and Captain America have been out actually on display in the packaging, just trying to get drama. It makes complete sense. It makes sense for the retailers to have some of these figures out on display in shops like this, so you can see them and help try and get people to buy into the game. I also want to give a shout out to Abe from our own Infinity and Beyond Facebook group. He is also one of the writers on the website, and he's just done the Disneyland marathon, so he's now currently resting in bed. Just put up a little picture of him resting there with his dog. So hopefully at some point he will actually be joining onto the webcast once he's sorted out his technical issues. Also this week we saw some pictures, and I'm just going to bring up these pictures because they are rather cool. Okay, so here we go. So we have Un Petit Mode. So these pictures were put up by a photographer called Kurt Moses, and they're all sort of photographer Kurt Moses and his wife currently on a photo project called Un Petit Moi, a small world, where Kurt takes photos of miniature figures in real life. And he's got this sort of image here, as you can see here, of all like the Disney Infinity figures, but they've also got the 2.0 Marvel figures thrown in. Aladdin sort of riding a magic carpet, which I think just looks really cool. These and sort of cars right in the middle of sort of Times Square. I mean, I just love the photography on that. It just looks fantastic, And you've got like Merida here with like a bear in the woods, Frozen with you've got sort of Elsa there with a. I mean, just look at this. This one looks so cool. He's there, washing his car, covered in soap suds. And then this one just looks fantastic, with Mickey Mouse and the sorcerer. Also have this really cool Maleficent image with that flame behind her. Captain Barbossa and Captain Jack by the sea. I think they've actually put Davy Jones in the fish tank, so that looks cool. And here we have sort of Lone Ranger. And what I really think is really cool is that when you take away the bases, how much of a cool figure they look. You could quite easily have seen these guys sort of on a website, sort of on a store, and you could pick them up and stuff. And I just think it just looks really cool, and I think they look rather cool. Anyway, guys, so that was all of the news from this week. Lots of little things. Nothing, other than Baymax. I'm hoping that we'll find out a few more things before the launch. But let's now look at this week's toy boxes. Okay, so here we go. So let's go back and let's look at this week's toy boxes. So there was 5 toy boxes that were all brought in. They're all done by Agent P's Challenge. And there was also a extra bonus toy box, which was the Superhero Camp. Now the Superhero Camp one was done, again, they've been doing this a lot more, is where Disney put out one of their own toy boxes to kind of hype up one of the future challenges. I always think it's a cool thing. It was quite funny when you see like the Disney version of the toy boxes, and I gotta be honest, the community tends to make a lot better toy boxes than Disney ever put out. You know, you usually find they're not quite anywhere near as finished. But anyway, I'm going to run through this week's top 5 toy boxes. So first off, you had the Enlargenator, which was made by 626 Mickey, where I'm going to apologise now, I don't know how to pronounce this. Dr. Doof, that's how it's going to be called, has enlarged his head in hopes of taking over the tri-state area. So I remember I've played through all of these toy boxes this week. You'll find them all up on our YouTube channel during the week. I tend to play them through on a Saturday morning, so you can find me on Twitch playing them. And then during the rest of the week, they go up one by one to sort of spread them out. And the Enlargenator, I think you just had it was a side-scrolling one. It was really, it looked really cool. There was a few sort of issues kind of with of how it worked, but it's pretty cool. I like, they tried something different, and it seems to work. You have the Stopwatchinator, where Dr. Doof has caught Agent P. You've got to rescue him and bring him back. I think this was the one I actually ended up. I kind of got stuck on a thing where I couldn't get through the lava with the swinging things and the spikes, and I tried to cheat and use the Wally jetpack and kind of got stuck on the roof and couldn't get back in, and I'd been stuck on that section for so long I decided to give it a miss. Okay, then we had Doof Security, where you had to fight your way through Doof Security system and kick him out. I thought this was pretty cool. Got to the end, kicked him over the edge. There was one thing that was after I kicked him out. I need fireworks. I need something to tell me I've finished the level. I know the fireworks are a bit cliche with the toy boxes, but it is kind of one of those things. And I'm hoping with 2.0, we would have a definite kind of fade out, or there'll be a few things to let you know you've finished. But that was the one thing. It was a really cool toy box, and I kind of kicked him off the edge and went, well, I couldn't, because I forget. I honestly read the what I'm supposed to do. I play through it, and I'm like a goldfish. I've then forgotten what I'm supposed to do. So I like the constant little niggles for telling it. And so that's what I'm looking forward to with the new game. Was these little signs saying, do this, do that. I forget. Can't help it. Right, another one of the weekly toy boxes was Morning Agent P, created by Danny Geek. It's Perry's day off. There's still training to do. Complete the 2 training challenges set up by Monogram. Again, a nice, easy toy box. Nothing. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I did have a slight issue. I think I ended up jumping into the second one when I should have. I don't know if the teleporters were set up wrong, but generally, it was a cool little toy box. And then we had finally Candinator by Infinity Guru. Doof's new Nator is turning the Tri-State into sweet in a bad way. Get info from Major Monogram. I think I got a bit lost. I couldn't work out what I was supposed to do after a few minutes. But generally, this week's toy boxes, for me, I don't really watch Phileas and Ferb, so a few of the things was kind of lost on me. But this is one of the major things with Disney Infinity, is the constant new content being available. So with having constant new weekly content, makes the game fresh. It brings people back in every week, and I think once we have the new toys, it's going to make a big difference for that. Anyway, now, right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish off with a quick check to see if we've had any interaction with anybody over on our Infinity and Beyond Facebook group, and also just to check Twitter. So you just have to bear with me, bear with. So I'm just checking here. Nobody's mentioned anything on the Facebook group. Now I do apologise. We did have a few technical issues with the site. Nope, nothing on the Twitter. That was something different I was trying to do this week, was put out a little message beforehand. Remember, you can get hold of us in lots of different ways. Like I said, the main one is through VinomationKingdom.com. You can find all the information on Disney Infinity and also Vinomation on there. You can also check us out on our Infinity and Beyond Facebook group. You can find the link there through in the comments below, and also on Vinomation Kingdom. We are literally about 2-3 people away from hitting 2,000. We're going to have a giveaway. But yeah, so we've got 2,000 members there nearly. We're just literally like this close. Just this close to doing that. You can also catch us on Instagram at Vinomation Kingdom. We're also on Twitter at Vinomation King. And I personally am also on Twitter and Instagram at Rog Palmer UK. Like I said, remember to subscribe to the channel. Remember to give this a thumbs up if you liked it. and also you can get the audio version on Stitcher and iTunes as well. This coming week I am going to slightly move things around. The next webcast for number 7 will be taking place on Sunday morning, which will be Saturday night in the US. The reason for this is this week I've kicked off a new Vinylmation webcast, which you can find already on, and it's a big weekend for Vinylmation. We have the big Imagination Gala event, so imagine it for Disney Infinity. This for Vinylmation is a bit like the big Marvel event, so we're going to find out lots of information. So because of that, I'm switching the days around, so the Infinity webcast will be on Sunday for this week only. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check us out soon, and I'll see you guys later.